Fantom FTM, a popular DeFi project that did very well in the 2020-2021 bull market, offering returns of 20,000% from the lows of 2020 and even from the summer lows of 2021, still offering returns of just over 2,000%. So did extremely well in those bull markets, currently 90% down from all-time highs at around $3.50. So in this video, as we have done for the past couple of weeks with these altcoin review videos, we're going to be going through some bullish and bearish scenarios where I would like to have my bags packed if I were an investor in the project, and of course some TP areas for you to consider going into the next bull run. If you enjoy our content, please do like and subscribe. We've had amazing response over the last few weeks, so really do appreciate it. Please keep it up. So let's get straight into the charts then. Let's get rid of some of these and zoom in to the current price action. So as with almost all of the videos we've done so far, we've got a nice higher time frame range to work within, where we can sort of look at things. So weekly range we've got here, weekly range high at 52 cents, weekly range low coming at 15 cents, which was the bottom of the summer 2021 dip. And then the mid range coming in at 33.5 cents. And as you can see, that has been a significant level of support and resistance all the way ever since we've entered back into this range around the summer of 2022. So bullish and bearish scenarios, of course, the obvious ones. Bullish scenario is we break out of this weekly range high on the next test and away we go. Bearish would be to break below the weekly range low, although it seems extremely unlikely at the moment. A possible scenario, though, is that we do come down, retest this weekly range low. What I'd really like to see, if that were the case, is to see a deep wick, which would take out all of these lows here, scare people into selling their bags, thinking that we're going to go all the way down to sort of single cents, and then pop back up, and away we go. As I say, though, probably quite unlikely with the momentum we've currently got, and going into next year, we've got potential ETF and halving and all that good stuff. So maybe that's the last time we have visited that weekly range low. So if you've been accumulating throughout this year, then you've probably got some nice orders filled down there, but it's still not too late. You know, the train has not left the station by any means. We've had a bit of a rally. It's been one of the best movers of this rally over the past 4 or 5 weeks or so. Currently 100% up from the bottom. However, as I just showed you, still a long way from the top. Definitely closer to the bottom than we are the top. In fact, let's just take a quick look at what a return to all-time highs from here is. You're still looking at almost a 10x. You're still looking at a 900% return, and that's just getting back to all-time highs. Of course, not a guarantee that we get back up there or even that we surpass it, but still pretty good risk reward, as I say, when you compare much closer to the bottom than we are the top. So as I say, if I were an investor in the project, I would certainly want to have my bags packed before another retest of this weekly range high at 52 cents, because I think once we break out of there, we've already had one deviation back here at the beginning of this year, and then strong resistance ever since we got back inside. So I think once we get past 52 cents, then that will probably be it in terms of a weekly candle close. We'll probably be off on our merry way. So I wouldn't want to be scrambling trying to add to a position once we've broken out of this weekly range. So let's take a look at some TP areas. Now, as I've said in previous videos, purely for illustration purposes only, and you can take profits whenever and however you like, and that is all dependent on your personal circumstances. You may want to employ a different tactic, maybe go for round numbers, so take some profit at $1, $1.25, $1.50, etc. Or like what I'm doing here and demonstrating for people that may not spend a lot of time on the charts, or maybe beginners, show you some easy examples of some clear and obvious support and resistance areas where you might want to take some of those profits. And then you can do 3 things with those profits: either try and reinvest on a pullback. BTC offers 30% pullbacks in bull markets. Traditionally, we had a 50% pullback in the last one. So you can reinvest on those dips. You can diversify it into other projects, or you can, of course, just withdraw it to your bank and have it as money to treat yourself, maybe pay those horrible taxes, etc. So plenty you can do with profit. You don't go broke taking profit. As I say, as and when is completely up to you and your personal circumstances. So let's go and take a look at some of these TP areas that I would be looking at taking some profits at. So the first one, coming in at just before $1, so front running that big psychological level of $1. Also clear level of support and resistance here. You can see resistance here in May 2021, support in September 21. And this is the candle. We broke through it on April, and we've not actually come up for a retest yet. So I think the first retest of that high 90s $1 area probably will offer a pullback. Maybe we pull back, retest the weekly range high as a bullish retest. You know, it would be almost a 50% drop, but you never know. It would be a good place to, you know, reaccumulate if you did take some profit there. So what is that as a return from current day's prices? 170%. So not a bad place to be taking profit there at all. You know, small amount, 10%, whatever you want it to be. My next area, TP area, would be up at $1.65. You could argue this is a bit of a range that we formed back in August or September 21. So again, take some profits here. Maybe we come back down, retest $1. And again, could be a good place to re-inject some capital if you've taken profits from higher. So again, let's take a look at what that would be from here up to that next TP, just shy of 400%, so 380-ish% up to $1.65. Next one, up at just over $2. Again, you might want to front run the $2 area, but in my opinion, this is a nice level of support and resistance. See these wicks and candle body closes in and around this area around $2.20. So again, let's just take a quick look at what a return from here would be. That's just over 500%. So again, if you went for the nice clean $2, you're still looking pretty good, about 470%. But yeah, $2.20-ish looks like a good area for me on the charts. Two more. You can see these candle closes here in October and November 2021 at around $2.88. So again, front running $3 slightly. You see this wick as well in January 22. So again, wouldn't be a bad place to take some profits. So where are we looking at? 733%. And then finally, of course, up at the all-time highs, back around $3.30-ish. Again, we looked at this before, about 800%, 850% back to all-time highs. So not a bad little return at all. And just one thing I forgot to mention, of course, looking at the weekly time frame at the moment, we are testing this weekly mid-range, so a nice bullish confirmation or a nice little buy signal would be a weekly close above this weekly mid-range. You can actually see that every time we've closed above this weekly mid-range, we've gone on to test the weekly range highs, apart from this example here in August, where we got above it, traded a little bit, got up to around 40 odd cents and then dropped back below. But as you can see, support, it was support, then we dropped back below, resistance, got back above, retested back up to the range highs, then came down, broke below the weekly mid-range, and again, we've not been back above this. This is the highest we've been since the summer of this year. So important weekly candle close. If we get a close above here, I think that's probably a really good buy signal. And as I've just demonstrated, still plenty of room to go. So don't be put off by the 4 or 5 weeks of rallying. Of course, probably not a good idea to go all in. We may get some retests. We may go a little bit lower. But anyway, let's move on to the BTC side of things. And you'll see the charts actually look very, very similar, which isn't always the case. All BTC charts, especially at the moment, over the course of this year, look a lot worse than the USDT charts. But as you can see, they are very, very similar in form. So anyway, let's get on with this. So pretty much the same analysis. We're in a weekly range high of 1,578 sats, weekly range low of 567 sats, weekly mid-range, again, key level of support and resistance up at 1,045. Only difference is we're not quite above this weekly mid-range. We've had a small rejection so far. So again, a close over that. If we got a weekly close above both these weekly mid-range, I think that would be a really strong buy signal. But at the moment, it's only the USDT pair that's threatening to do it. The BTC pair is still lagging behind a little bit. So all the scenarios that I talked about in the USDT pair apply for the BTC side of things. So let's just get straight into the TP area. So again, with the similar looking chart, the TP areas are going to be fairly similar. Let's take a look. So first one, this is a much cleaner level of resistance. This first area here up at 2,500 sats. Again, you could argue psychological level, but look at this support area in September 21, October 21, candle break there, and then it became resistance up the beginning of this year in Jan and February 2023. So key level of support and resistance. Could easily see a test there similar to what we had here. We broke out of the range, tested 2,500 sats as resistance, came back down, retested the weekly range high, but this time we actually broke inside. Maybe we get a similar move again, but this time we bounce off and away we go. Next one. Again, you could argue this is a range. This is a range high at 3,500 sats. This is a range low at 2,500 sats. So again, nice little area for TP. You can see all these wicks and candle bodies that are closed in and around this area. So let's take a look at what the returns are from today's prices to these two levels. So the first one, you're looking at 170% return, pretty similar to the USDT pair. And then the second TP area, about 280% up at 3,500 sats. Next TP area, again, you could probably argue that this whole thing is a range. Maybe that this is the range high, this is a range low, and 3,500 sats is the mid-range. In fact, that actually does look pretty clean. So again, 4,700 sats, you can see these candle wicks and candle bodies in and around this area. You can see where it flipped from support to resistance, 2 wicks into this area, and then we dropped. So this area around 4,700 sats. Let's take a look at what a return from here would be. You're looking at 400%, so not a bad return on your BTC at all. Definitely an area you want to be taking some profits, in my opinion. And then final two, you can see this candle wick here from October 2021 that comes up to around 5,700 sats. And again, candle body close here in January 2022, support in the following week, and then it was also support, well, in fact, all throughout January 2022, this level was a support, and then when we closed back below, that was the start of the downtrend. So important level here, 5,700 sats. Let's take a quick look at what that looks like, a return from current day's prices. You're looking at 500%. And then finally, all-time highs, 7,600, 7,700 sats. All-time highs, definitely want to be taking some profit there if we get there, and you're looking at a return of 700% on your Bitcoin, which is fantastic. So both the USDT pair and the BTC pair much closer to the bottoms than the top, and still offering some fantastic returns, even though we've had a bit of a rally over the last 3 or 4 weeks. As I say, still a good time to start to continue or start dollar cost averaging. Maybe we do get a pullback, maybe we do go lower. But as I say, we close above those weekly mid-range levels, still not, it is still a very good opportunity to get in. Only 55% up from the lows on the BTC pair. But yeah, that is what my plan would be if I were investing in the project. Potential TP areas to look at and consider. As I said before, completely up to you, but this is a nice visual aid, and having that plan of when and where to take profit definitely alleviates that psychological and emotional stress and euphoria of a bull market of not knowing what the hell to do. So I definitely encourage you to get a plan for all your assets and yeah, be ready. So hope you enjoyed the video. As I say, if you did enjoy it, please drop a like and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next one.